So, hi, this is Sherri, the cooking yogi, Sherri Mraz, and today I have with me Karen Pattock. Karen is a social media marketing expert, and she is the creator of Step Into More Profits. Welcome, Karen.
Hi.
I'm so excited that you're joining us today.
Me too.
So, we are so curious, all of us, to find out your story. And
Okay.
I know it, but I want to share it
Yeah.
with everyone else. So, I had some questions that I wanted to ask you. I know what the answer to this one is already,
Okay.
and I'm jumping right in here.
Yeah.
What is your favorite business book?
So the book that's helped me the most this year is Virtual Freedom by Chris Ducker. And it's a great book from the standpoint if you ever want to hire any virtual help, whether that's for a project or someone on a regular basis, part-time, full-time, it teaches you how to decide what you need, how to interview, how to hire, how to train, how to manage that person or those projects so that they come out the most successfully. And it's really teaches a good lesson from the standpoint that we just often expect when we hire a virtual assistant to help us, they should just know what we need without telling them, like, okay, I just need this and I just need this. And the truth is, every one of us runs our business differently. So he does a really good job of teaching how to teach them exactly what you want. So it's a successful relationship and there's no miscommunication. And it is a process. So you have to go in knowing it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but in the end, it'll be worth it. So it's a great reference book.
So, not everyone here knows that Karen was my mentor. Cat out of the bag, on your chair. And so you had gifted me and sent me that book. And I'm really happy to hear that was your favorite part of the book because that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
So, at least I understood. I have started collecting a group of VAs, and I still find, even though you follow all those things, you still have to try them out. Yes?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I'm finding some that are good and sharing them with the group. So at least, I mean, that's the only way I think you can approach that. You still have
Yep.
to.
And actually asking people that you know for
Yeah.
references is a great way to go about it. But we still have to go in knowing that we're going to have to train them. And I'm guilty. Like I was guilty of expecting them to know what I wanted in the beginning. And now I go in with a whole different attitude of, okay, what do you need from me? And how do we make this successful? So it works a lot better that way.
Absolutely. Kind of like a marriage, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't read your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So with that, you say that's your favorite resource, or do you have other resources that you go to?
So the other big resource that I love and I recommend to everyone is Lead Pages. And if you don't know what Lead Pages is, in a nutshell, it's an online software system that provides you with templates for everything under the sun you could possibly want to do in your business. Sales pages, thank you pages, webinar replay pages, opt-in pages, everything you would ever need, and you can create them, and they're just like really drag and drop almost. So they're templates that are already set up. And before Lead Pages came along, I would spend hours and hours and hours creating a page on my website. I mean, I'm not a coder, I'm not an HTML person. I could figure it out, but it didn't have the professionalism that Lead Pages has. And they spend tens of thousands of hours split testing every page that they put out. So if they actually publish a page for their clients to use, you can guarantee that it converts. So the colors they use, the font size they use, the font they use, all of those things make a difference. What color is the opt-in button? All of those things, believe it or not, make a big difference. And they've done the homework. So it's worth the investment. And I use it almost every day in my business. It's a great resource.
Yeah, I use it now too, and thanks to you, and your course, I can pull out your video training and
Yeah.
watch it almost every time. And
Yeah.
at least you gave that checklist and everything. So because it's helpful, but until you use it regularly, it is
Right.
some work. So, and
Right.
they give you templates and they teach you, but they're so fast and so above the layperson's
Yeah.
language, it's hard to follow. So thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah.
So, so you were a health coach. You went
Yes.
to IIN,
Yep.
like most of us. And what made you, well, first of all, I know that you were, when you were a health coach, you grew your list as a health coach, yes?
Yes.
How did you do it?
So I did all of the things that IIN recommended. And I started pretty early on. I got hooked up with Constant Contact. I started a bi-weekly newsletter, and I just started talking to people everywhere I went. I started connecting with my doctors and saying, here's what I'm doing. Can I count on you to be a referral partner? I would find health magazines that were published in my area for businesses in my area, and each month I would choose 5 yoga instructors, chiropractors. I would pick 5 out of that book, typically women, because I wanted to support other women in business. And I would reach out to them. And more than likely, 4 out of those 5 would contact me back, and I would get appointments with them. And slowly but surely, they started referring people to me. I did several local events where, it was set up a table and have people come and fill out your page so that you could type their names in your email list. And it was a process, but it was a process that was working. And at that point, I wasn't really using social media yet. I hadn't really wrapped my head around that. So I just started with the usual, like I said, exactly what IAN said. I started making those connections. I started reaching out to my email list. I started going to live events, and I would do talks at my local gym. I did the Sugar Blues talk, and I just did all those steps, and they work if you just stick with them. And I didn't do too many outside of that. Like, I just kept doing the same things over and over. So I just got a system, and I just kept building my list.
So I love that. Thank you. Can everybody please just do me a favor and hit the mute on the bottom left of your screen just until we get done, and then we're going to end up the session with question and answer. So Karen will definitely be able to answer anything that you want to specifically.
That's my fave. I love doing Q&A.
Me too. So I love that advice. I think it's really, really important. And I know you've given me that advice. Keep it simple. And we've talked about that in the group, the KISS, and focus. I love that you said 5 referral people to reach out to. Like, anybody can master that number over a month. That is great, great advice. Thank you.
Yep.
So, is that how you stay out of overwhelm? Like, how do you? I like the idea of being able to keep manageable things for myself.
Yeah.
I don't always stick with it, but.
Right. Overwhelm is something that can really, get its hands on all of us. And when I start feeling overwhelmed, or like right now, it's the end of the year, my husband's business is busy, my business is busy, and I could easily come into my office and freak out because there's a lot to do. But I spend a lot of time just maintaining the voice in my head that says you can only do one thing at a time. What's the priority right now? First of all, I ask my question, what's the priority right now that will make me money in my business? That's the first thing I ask myself every morning, and that's the first thing I work on. If that's meeting with clients, and getting ready for those calls, if that's my Step Into More Profits group and answering their questions, like, yeah, a lot of them have already paid me, but that is my responsibility. So they're the first thing I do in the morning and the last thing I do at night. So what are those things that are going to make me money? Next, I'll ask myself, what are the things that are going to grow my list? We're going to talk a lot about list building today. And then from there, I fill in the gaps. But it depends, kind of goes up and down. Like, I'm getting ready for a launch right now, so I'm really busy with launch material. But again, I just have to think in my head, okay, what's the first thing I need to do? Well, I need to get ready for the webinars. What's the next thing I need to do? And so it's just a process, and I try not to let the big picture overwhelm me. I just make notes and know that I'm keeping notes, and it's one thing at a time. And the way to get too busy, the way to get overwhelmed is when you're trying to do too many things at one time. Focus on one product, one program, one, promotion at a time, and just stay there. Stay in that space until it's complete, and then move on. If you have a free offer, start with that free offer, and don't worry about the next free offer or the next great free thing you see online. Stick with it and promote it and build your list with that. When you're ready to get a new one, get a new one, and then promote that. One thing at a time.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah.
So I know that you at some point made the shift from health coach to marketing expert.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That was really,
did that happen?
It wasn't even intentional on my part. Prior to becoming a health coach, obviously I helped my husband with his business, and we had owned other businesses in the past, and I had been partners in other businesses on my own. And so that business background came in handy with building my health coaching business, because I jumped right in. And so as I was building my health coaching business, my fellow health coaching students started saying, well, how did you do that? And how did you meet with that referral partner? And what did you say? And what letter did you send? And quite organically, I started giving them business advice and started doing business coaching upon their request. And before I knew it, I was doing more business coaching than health coaching. And I said, I think there's a message here. I'm good at this. I love marketing, and I can still support that health community, which is important to me, but I can just do it in a different space. And so I just finally one day said, okay, I need to pick one or the other. And obviously I chose the marketing side and never looked back. And I love it. I love it, love it.
Yeah, I think that's called just following the messages, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I hear in the trenches a lot of criticism sometimes. We didn't talk about this, not to lay this on you, but I hear people saying, oh, only the, people that are selling to the health coaches are making money. But that's because there's a need. There's so many people that want to grow their business, and you're a necessity.
Right.
So,
right. I mean, it's no different than even in my space in marketing, and with all my background, I still hire a business coach, someone that's further along in the process than I am, someone that I'm accountable to. I'm willing to invest in my knowledge, my business building skills to build my business. And so it doesn't matter if you're a health coach, if you're a yoga practitioner, if you are doing marketing coaching, if you're doing a done for you program, whatever you're doing, you have to be willing to invest in your skills so that you are providing the best service possible. So, and, I've heard that exact same thing. And, to me, that's a cop-out. Like, okay, make your business plan and stick with it. At the end of the year, what didn't work, get rid of it. Try something new. We're all doing it. None of us have all the answers. We're all doing it, but you have to be willing to invest in your future. And it doesn't stop with your IIN, education. That's great, but marketing takes time. And it's hard for a lot of people to get themselves in a space that's comfortable in marketing their businesses. And they have to be able to say, hey, like, I'm putting a stake in the ground and I can help you. And that is a struggle for a lot of people, but it just happens. You just have to keep working at it and working at it. So, you know, that does frustrate me when people say that, but those are the people that aren't super serious about building their businesses, because we know there are successful health coaches.
Yeah, and really and truly, if you think about it, everything feeds off of each other. So if I need to hire a mentor for marketing and things I don't know how to do, your client needs to hire you, because they're not going to read every single nutrition book. So
Right.
it's like goes up the chain of command, I guess you could say.
Right.
You
We are curators of information for our niche, for our expertise. And so, right, there is no information that I could tell you, or no information that a health coach could tell a health coaching client that they couldn't find on the internet. What we do is package it, put it together, and give it out in a step-by-step system, so that it's easily digestible and easily implementable, and we're that accountability and that support system that so many people don't have. And that doesn't matter whatever niche you're in, whatever service you're providing, that's what you're doing. Because none of us are, we're not rocket scientists, and we're not, creating the cure for cancer. We are curating information for our specific ideal client and sharing it with them in a way that is comfortable for them, to make them successful, which then makes us successful.
I think that's a good way for health coaches to get over that whole feeling of they don't know enough, because your client too could go out and read everything like you said, but at least this way you're giving them the tools step by step. So just like we feel overwhelmed, so do they.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at it like that. That's how you're helping people.
Absolutely.
Stay out of overwhelm. So what would you say is the single most important thing that people step to building business? Or should we go into, because I know there's a whole bunch of things that you've been putting together. Should we just go right into that? What people should focus on maybe for this time of year?
Right. So I'm a big believer in systems. And just like I just explained, that I went forward with my health coaching business I knew I wanted to contact five potential referral partners a month. That's a smidgen over one per week, if you want to do that way. I am all about putting systems in place. So I start each month with a list building growth goal, right? I start each month knowing, what am I going to promote that month? How am I going to make money? Am I going to be promoting any affiliate products that month? I know what it is that has to take place in order for me to be successful in that month. And so it's really important. I hear the word overwhelm all the time, just like you just asked. How do you stay out of overwhelm? And the biggest thing is, stop getting involved in so many different things. With the internet, it's a blessing and a curse. And I say that about social media too. It's a blessing and a curse, because we have access to so much amazing information, but it's so hard to distinguish between what we should be doing and what we should be letting go, because it all sounds great.
Yeah.
All the programs, all the free, webinars, all the free trainings, all of that sounds so great. And we can't do it all. We can't do all that stuff and build our business, because building our business is work, and it takes putting on blinders and turning off our email and turning off our social media, platforms, and doing the work. And if that's contacting those referral partners, if that is, doing a Sugar Blues talk somewhere, whatever that is, get in a routine and stick with those things. Make a decision now for the top 6 ways you're going to build your business next year. Prioritize them. And then start putting the first one into action right away. And then maybe in February, you keep on with number 1 and you add number 2. And so you keep building, but you do it in a way that is strategic. Add that strategy into your plan and turn everything else off. Get off all the email lists that really don't provide you with a ton of really good information. If you can't wait to get somebody's email every week when they send it out, well, then stay on that list. But if it's just clogging up your email, get rid of it. There's too much information. You have to stay focused. Again, ask yourself each morning, what is going to make me money? That money, how you do that is how you are going to service your clients. And I'm not saying that your goal should be only about money, but if you're doing it right, the serving your clients part will fall right into place as you are marketing and doing everything you're doing to get your name out there and build your list.
Okay, so put the blinders on. You
Yeah.
said it. I was picturing blinders, and then you said it.
Yeah.
So right now, this time of year, is there something specific that people should focus on? Is it that 6? That's what we should be doing, writing a list of 6 things to work on for the upcoming year? Is that what you're saying?
So, what I've been going through with my private clients recently is, number 1, start with what products do you currently have? What do you actually have that's ready to go right now? Those are the easiest to implement. We all have things we want to create and we want to put together. But if you're starting with that, then you're starting the year not making any money. And believe me, when you start making money, there is a lot of power in that. When you make your first $1 or your first $1,000, there is so much empowerment in that. So start with a list of what do you have that's ready to go? What can you launch or start promoting January 1? Then schedule that out on a calendar. So how often do you want to promote that? Is it something that you're going to have clients for every single month because it's an ongoing thing? And start plugging in on a budget or on a spreadsheet how much money you expect to make every single month from that activity. So if it's a launch that maybe is only quarterly, right? You only do it quarterly, like I do the Step Into More Profits program. I open it and I close the doors. It's not open all the time. And then I work with that group of clients. So how are you doing that? So on my budget, right, I have some months, the months that I'm promoting, there's a big spike in my income and then it'll drop down, right? But I can expect that I'm going to get a few private clients out of that group within a couple of months because they start getting the material and then they have questions. So those are the things I want you to think about. How can you take someone through your sales funnel of products that you already have? Then for things you want to create, if you want to create things, put those in your calendar and when do you want to have them ready? And I'm big on being realistic. Don't use these pie in the sky numbers that you have no belief that you can ever reach them because it doesn't do you any good. What do you feel? Maybe that's only 1 client the first month and then it's 2 clients the next month and then 3 clients. Maybe it's only 1 extra client every single month, but you're working on your referral partners and you're doing your live talks or you're doing your social media advertising. Whatever the way you've decided to draw new leads into your business, you keep that momentum up because if you start and stop, you're never going to get any momentum. You've got to keep that flow going and then make adjustments along the way. If you're doing something that by June isn't working, it's not bringing you any leads or any income, then stop what you're doing and figure out, do I need to cut this? Is there something different, a different way I need to approach this? And then go from there. So it's small movements. It's not big jerky reactions. It's small fine tuning in our businesses, and we're all doing it. And as we grow in our business, what we want to do will change. So we'll bring in different products. We may want to work with more private clients, less private clients. But the bottom line is having a plan, knowing what to expect, knowing what your goals are every month, how many clients, how many people added to your email list, God bless you. And you keep going, right? So it's just a matter of, and you can really make a plan if you sit down for 2 or 3 hours and really focused on what you have available. What do you want to create? How many people can you expect to bring in? How do you plan on building your email list, growing your email list, which is really important. You just set that strategy. So each morning when you come into your office, or each evening, whatever your schedule allows, you are looking at that calendar and you know what's coming up. You know what you need to be working on. There's no like, oh, what do I want to work on today? No, you already know. You have a launch next week or you're promoting next week. So you need to get stuff ready for that. It's having a plan figured out in advance.
You make it sound so easy.
Ah.
But I have to tell you, I don't remember what program you taught last year with the marketing calendar.
Yeah.
The business plan.
That business planning made simple, yeah.
That was really awesome. And I've actually shared with everyone in the group before that is really critical. It does take out a lot of that frantic feeling. When I get to my desk too and I have my marketing calendar specific just for what is important to market that day, it makes it not, you don't feel so crazy.
Right.
So, all right. So is that your advice as far as what methods are best to build your business? The referral, partners, talks, is that how we should be promoting our business?
Well, it just totally depends on, do you want to build a local business? Do you want to have local connections and you really want to have, that local client base? Or when I was building my health coaching business, I knew without a doubt, I wanted to be able to reach people through social media, email marketing, online marketing. I knew that's where I wanted to take my business. And so it depends. Every one of us needs to build a business that we love, not what someone else is doing. So if you plan on doing a local business, then yes, you need to be connecting with the local gyms and chiropractors and yoga studios and all the things that IIN teaches, right? The chiropractors. And you need to be going to networking events, and you need to be connecting with, places where you can put on talks where, is there a YMCA, by you, something like that. If you want to do an online business, well, then you have to be looking at social media, because that is how the world connects now. That is how the world connects, through social media. Like it, love it, hate it, whatever it is a fact. That's why we're so connected. And again, like I said, blessing and a curse all at the same time. Again, with social media, big blinders on. Don't get lost in the feed looking at everyone's, information. Don't get lost in comparing your business to, the best case scenario that someone else puts on their news feed to, say, look what I did, because we know we only put on the best of the best. And you have to get a strategy. Regardless if you're doing it locally or online, you need some type of marketing budget. There is not a business in history that has ever become successful without some type of advertising, some type of marketing budget. And, when social media first started, and it really was social, it was just social platforms, you could get some free, momentum there, really free advertising for your business. But the truth of the matter is that is not the case now. you can get some traction with, using the right keywords and hashtags on Twitter or Pinterest, but you really have to set an ads budget aside. And if that's $5 a day, then it's $5 a day. And you start building your list and getting that momentum and marketing to those people on your list, which is the gold of your business. So whether you're doing this locally or online, right? You're getting people on your list. That's your goal. Biggest goal as a business owner, because those are the people that have raised their hands and said, I want to hear what you have to say. And they're sticking around because they like what they're hearing. And so that means when you promote or have new products and programs and services, they are the people that are most likely to purchase from you because they like what you have to say. They like your delivery. No one can deliver like you because no one's had your life experiences. So it's just a combination. You have to make that decision for yourself. I can't tell you which way you want to go, but I'm telling you that you have to think in terms of you are a business. You are the CEO of your business, and you have to make those decisions. If they don't work after a little while, then you need to do a course correction. But you have to stick with it to get that momentum going.
Is it an and or thing? Does someone promote themselves locally and online, or do they choose?
I would say it can be an or both. It can be whatever you want it to be. And it can change. And that's the other thing. Don't feel like the decision you make today is that's it. It's, in stone and you can't change it. I've changed my business model and gotten much clearer on what I want to teach and what I want to do to support the community that I love, right? And it has become more and more refined as time has went on. And it will be the same for each and every one of you. As you start getting your feet wet and start earning that money, maybe you find out you're not that crazy about one-on-one coaching, or you're not that crazy about doing these talks in front of everyone. It's not your thing. You gave it a try. Cool. Find something else that works for you. So I would say anyone in this day and age needs to have like a Facebook page for sure, not your profile, not your personal page, but a business page, because this is where people go to look to see what you're about. They want to find you. They want to see, what are you posting, right? I mean, there's like 1.4 billion people just on Facebook alone. If I'm looking at somebody, if I am looking for someone, the first thing I do is check them out on Facebook. I just bought a house in Arizona over the summer. I checked out the guy I bought the house from. What's been going on in the house that I'm going to buy, right? You can find so many things about. When I'm hiring someone for my business, I'm looking online. What does that person have? What are they posting on their page? Are they active on social media? That's important to me. That's what I teach. I want them to understand it. Or are they just telling me they know social media, right? So you can do so much research. I mean, we can't even get into it all. Social media is like so great for your business. Whether you want to use that to build your business, that's where people are going to be looking at you. So you have to have at least a minimum presence there. Yeah.
And the same with your website. No, don't.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's website. I have to tell you honestly, some of the VAs that sent me their information, if I went to their website and it looked horrible, like I don't want them working on mine then.
Right on. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Exactly. So you can imagine if you're doing that investigation, you guys, people are investigating you too. So what do you want them to see? Remember that. Don't post, the party pictures from New Year's Eve, right? Don't post those, or at least pick the ones that look, pretty good. Don't post the ones after midnight. You want to hang on to those for your private collection.
Or not.
Or not, right. Yeah. Make that decision in the morning, right?
So, Are those the main things then that people just starting out should really be focusing on?
So the biggest thing that we started talking about that I want everyone to understand, and that is your email list is the gold of your business. And here's a few reasons why. Facebook's notorious for this, but so are the other social media platforms. You can build up your following there, build up your following, and you get your fans and your followers, but they change things all the time. Facebook is changing all the time. The algorithm changes, and I'm sure you've heard, like, we're not being seen as much in the news feed. What does that mean? So if you're relying 100% on social media to connect with your audience, that connection is getting smaller and smaller because, number one, there's more competition, but number two, those social media platforms can change anytime. But when you capture a name and an email address of someone, that person that said, I want to know more about what you have to offer, and you are sending out a bi-weekly newsletter or a weekly newsletter or a blog post, and you're building that relationship, right? You're nurturing that relationship. You have in your possession something that I treasure. Like I seriously look at my email list as the gold of my business, because at any time I know I can write an email and I can send it out to all the people on my list. I don't know if I post on Facebook if, my 5,600 followers are going to see it, or how many will see it. I don't know if I post it on Twitter, how many of those people will see it. But I know if I send it to them in an email, it has the highest possibility of being viewed by my audience. Now, does every person open it? No, not for sure, no. But here's the great thing. More and more and more of technology, right? Our smartphones, our tablets, our iPads, our computers, people are connected all the time. So they can be in the car, right? Driving, writing in the car, and they get your email and they read it. They can be laying in bed at night, get your email, and they read it. You have more chance because people are connected 24/7 to everything, especially their email. I forget what the number is. Like, people check their email like on average of 16 times a day, something like that. My email typically is open all day. Unless I'm, head down focused on something, I keep my email open. So the email list is really where you want to spend a ton of your time in building your business, because that has the highest conversion rate, right? You'll sell the most to people that are on your email list. You can nurture your relationship with those people and build trust and affinity with them much more than in any other way. Social media is just great to move those people, right, from being a fan or a follower onto your email list. But you actually own your email list. You don't own your Facebook page. You don't own your Twitter profile. You own your email list. No one can take it away from you. That is why it's so important. So if Facebook went away tomorrow or changed all their rules, you would not lose your connection. Your connection is through your email list. So, if there's one thing you walk away from this call with, that is, in 2015, building your list is like number one priority. Those are the people that are, we call them warm leads. They want to hear from you. They want to know what you have to offer. They want to buy your programs, products, and services because they are connected to you, and they must like you or they would hit the unsubscribe button. So you should never feel bad about promoting to them, because they're there because they need you. You have to give them what they want. And so that is the goal. Set a goal. 50 people a month ad, 100 people, 1,000 people, whatever your goal is. How are you going to do it? How are you going to get those people on your list? And so I just can't say it enough. You own that list. That is part of your business and has the highest value of anything you'll ever buy for your business, more than your website, more than any social media platform or frilly, awesome app that you get. That is the gold of your business. Absolutely.
Would you, this question may be too big to answer right now. If it is, then just say that's for another day. But
Okay.
how is the best way to get someone from Facebook into your email list? Is it running the ads? Is there something that others on the call can do? Like, hey, if you want more information about this, go to how does one normally get to there from
So I'm sure.
there?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, in a nutshell, and I'm sure you've talked about it in this group before, having a free offer is really important, right? So knowing who your target audience is, being very clear on what their pain points are, picking one pain point or one portion of a pain point, creating a free offer that shares with them a bite-sized result, a bite-sized solution to a problem that they are having. And why we only want it to be bite-sized and not a 20-page ebook is because no one's going to read a 20-page ebook. We're too busy. We want to give them something little, something bite-sized, that if they implement that, they will get a result. As soon as they get a result, you've solved one little problem they have. What's the next question? Well, what else does this person have? What else do they have? What else can I get from them? And so having that free offer is really important. Through social media, whatever platforms you're on, doesn't matter. You should be posting 20 to 25% of the time a link to your free offer. A link that they can get on your name, on your email list, right? Give you their name and email. So that is the percentage you should be using. So if you only post once a day, then you might only be posting that link twice a week. If you post 10 times a day, you might be posting that link twice a day. It just depends on your posting schedule. So think of it between 20 and 25% of the time. That's Facebook. Twitter, you could post it probably like almost 3 times a day, because the feed runs so much faster, right? You're hearing gone on Twitter much faster. So you want to think about that. And if you are using social media, and you should be using social media at least partially for your marketing efforts, then yes, I highly recommend doing Facebook ads. But I will say that the but is, don't do Facebook ads without understanding how to do them. Don't click that boost post button. There's not enough targeting there. You have to understand how to target. So either get a Facebook program that you can learn if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or you can hire someone for not very much money that is an expert in Facebook ads, that can create one ad for you that you can turn on and off, or just run it at $5 a day, whatever. But you are targeting then very specifically. If you want to run a local business, then you can target, women between the ages of 25 and 35 that have 3 children that live in the Orlando area. You can be so specific with your targeting, and that makes it worthwhile. So that makes it so you're not wasting money. Too many people say, oh my gosh, I tried Facebook ads. They suck. They don't work. I never got a single lead. Well, that's because they didn't have the proper targeting in place. They click that boost post button because it's easy, and Facebook makes a boatload of money from that. That's cool. But the fact of the matter is, you need to get really clear on who your target audience is, so you can be really clear on the targeting efforts that you use through the ads. And I'm just saying this because I want you to save your money until you get to the point where you can do it right, because otherwise you're just throwing money down the drain, and Facebook's got enough money. They don't need any more money. it can be very effective if done correctly.
Well, I must admit, I did boost posts. I
Oh
did
yeah.
incorrectly for a long time and spent way too much money.
Yep.
So, and watching your last, one of the trainings that you did in the course on how to run the Facebook ads was phenomenal. Thank you.
Yep.
So, what would you say, if there was anything that we could take away from this with the thing that we shouldn't be doing? There's so many things we can do. Again, the whole like overload thing, because our list is really big. We're going to work on getting bite-sized projects, offering bite-sized free offers. But what should we not be doing?
So we've touched on this, and it really comes back to, again, that word overwhelm. It inevitably happens to every single one of us. We try doing too many things. We think if we have 6 programs, we're going to make more money than if we have 3 programs. But the fact of the matter is, we can't do 6. We can't manage 6 programs. It's impossible unless we hire help. But we can master 3 programs. And maybe that's, a low-priced ebook that we're bringing people into our funnel with, and then we're taking them to, a 4-week detox course or something like that, which leads to our 6-month coaching program or 3-month coaching program. So we have a very defined sales funnel. And you can't, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from my high and mighty cloud. I have tried to do too many programs throughout the year. It was I had a bad mentor that led me to believe that I would create a program, run it, and then move on, and then create another program and run it and move on. And the fact of the matter is, I can pick 2 or 3 programs and get really good at them and master them. And there's always going to be clientele that I can funnel into those programs. And when I created the Step Into More Profits program, that was a couple of years of my own frustration trying to figure it all out. And I swore to myself, if I did, I would create a program that would teach others how to do all this stuff, to get started and start their business and get their name on social media and build an email list. I wanted to show them all the right ways to do it so they didn't have to go through all that struggle and bottleneck and stumble like I did. So that program is definitely my signature program. It's my baby and will be, as far as I can see, into the future, because I'll just keep making it better. I'll just keep making it better and having, include more information. And what's been really great, obviously, Sherri, you were in the pilot program, right? The first group. All your questions that you have asked along the way has led to a really great library of what else I need to include. Will I get it all into the next group? No, but I will improve it, and I will continue to improve. And I think that is the way to approach your business. Just start simple and master those things instead of thinking you have to recreate the wheel or create all this new stuff. You can build an awesome program. You can take the IIN 6-month model and break it into a 3-month model, or, you can do it into an 8-week program, but you can use that base model and then master it. What are the supplements you can put in that help your clients? Is it an online Facebook group that supports them, gives them accountability? Is it weekly emails? How is it that serves them best? And with each group that you have or each client that you have, you'll get feedback. And that's, as the owner of the business, that feedback is really good information, because we can just keep getting better and better and better for our audience. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, we can be here and be excellent at what we do.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that, and you mentioned it, and what people really need to realize is to keep reusing their same material.
Oh yeah.
Repurpose, as you
Yeah,
call it. It is so important. I just
absolutely.
moved on, created new, and I think that we get in that rush of adrenaline from IIN, all the IINers here, and how, you can do this and you can do that. And everybody, we're all thinking we can do, we can do, we can do.
Mhm.
Try everything. It's like 100 different dietary theories. You're trying 100 different things in your business and you'll go crazy and burn.
Right. Right. I
So,
mean, I love IIN, but the one thing that I feel that they give a false indication of is that the minute you graduate and you hang up your sign, it's a no-brainer, right? You're going to have just clients funneling in, it's very concerning because there's so many health coaches that are disillusioned by that theory, and they feel like it's them, like they are doing something wrong, they're a failure, like people don't want what they have. And that is not the case. The case is that yes, IIN gives marketing information, but it's like this information up here. Go get a referral partner and go do this talk locally, but they haven't got to the point. Where do you start? Okay, how do you connect with that referral partner? Do you write them a letter? Do you send, do you make a phone call? Do you send them an email? If you are writing them a letter, what do you say in that letter, right? It's all that foundational stuff that we're missing, that I was missing. And I had so many questions. And when I would ask the questions, nobody was giving the answers. So yes, you have the ability to do whatever you want with your business, but it takes time and it takes energy to get your name out there and set yourself apart. So you're not even going to know who your ideal client is right out of the gate. You'll have a theory, but as time goes on, you're going to continue to fine tune that. And you've seen that, Sherri, with people in our step group, right? They've continued to refine over the last 5 months who their ideal audience is. We started that conversation back in July. They were like, oh yeah, I know who they are. Well, it was big picture and they needed to get here so their marketing message was much clearer. And so we have people that are doing some phenomenal things in that group now because they've clarified their message and gotten really clear on who they want to help.
awesome.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So yes, I've seen some pretty really concise messages there, and that's what
Yeah.
it's about. We don't want to confuse our people. If we feel confused, we're just passing it on. So
Right. Right.
keeping it simple. So you sent me something. I think I can share screen. Let's see. So I can show. How do I do this? There. You guys can see it or no?
No, not yet.
Really? I don't know how to get this thing going. Here.
Oh, there we go.
So you sent me this,
Yep.
and those are your times that you have coming up for an information class, yes?
Yes. So I'm doing a live workshop. I have 2 different dates, December 26th and the 27th. You can see there that I am going to give you 90 minutes of how to create an easy to implement marketing plan to monetize your online presence in 2015. So again, right back to that foundational aspect of your business. Oh, we lost the.
Well, I figured I will just post it. Do you want me to keep it up?
Oh, it's fine. So
want to
you can
see you.
sign up for those, either one of those times that work for you. And I've set up links on my website to make it easy for you and for Sherri, so you didn't get all those crazy numbers and letters that come with webinars. But I really want to make sure that all of the people here, all of Sherri's people, have the benefit of starting the year with a plan, right? Starting the year with knowing what you want to do. Maybe you won't have a clear picture for all 12 months, but if we can get you to the point where you can start the first quarter having a plan of action and really having a marketing message and your free offer in place, and you have your basics social media platforms set up correctly. So if someone's checking you out, they're seeing what you want them to see, right? It's not just happenstance. We're planning it out. We're getting strategy behind us. And I want to give that gift really to all of the people on this call. So I'm personally inviting every one of you to join me on either one of those days that makes sense. And there will be a recording. I'm hoping you'll come live because I'm going to have some special information for those people that come live that the people that get the recording won't have access to. But I've put a lot into this training. Like, I've worked really hard on it, and you will walk away with a plan of action. You're going to know, exactly what you need to be doing. And so I really hope every single one of you will join me, and there will be a Q&A session. Like I said, I love Q&A sessions. So I'm an open book. I don't hold anything back. If you ask me a question, I give you an answer. If I don't know the answer, I'll figure it out. So even on that call, I'll say to you, if I don't have the answer, I'll say, send me an email here and I'll find the answer and I'll get back to you. And that's happened many times. But I'm not going to wing it. I'm not going to fly by the seat of my pants. I want you to have the best information because I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to feel frustrated when you can't get the answers. You so desperately want to build your business and you have this simple question. Everybody's creating programs, but nobody's answering the simple questions. And that's what I want to do for you. So I hope you'll take time to spend that 90 minutes with me, or at least the first hour, getting that information and picking my brain. I'm going to be an open book. Pick my brain.
So do we want to do that now? Anybody have a question for Karen?
Yeah.
And she really means it too, because I'm in that Step Into More Profits. And even on the Facebook group, she is all day long answering people, not to make it sound like you're there all day long, but you pretty much are answering and responding. And it's really incredible because there's not a lot of service like that. So thank you, Karen.
Yeah. Yes.
So if you are muted and you have a question, don't forget to unmute yourself.
Okay, Karen, thank you so much. That was really awesome.
Great.
A lot of information, and I need that information really bad.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to open my own business, my day spa. I'm an esthetician. And what would you recommend? What should I start with? Should I start with something I know already, like being an esthetician, and go ahead and just work as an esthetician for a while and then incorporate the health coaching to the spa? Or should I just go ahead and do both at the same time and just build them together?
So when you say spa, what does that look like for you? Like, what do you envision that to be?
A place where people can come in and do their facials and body wraps, massage place, a sauna maybe. Thinking of going a little big with the Moroccan hammam or Moroccan bath, something not really big, but pedicures, manicures, maybe incorporate some, bring in a cosmetologist also. So it's a spa where they can come in and just have all the services. They don't have to do their hair here or their face, facials here, and then they have to look for a place where they can do their nails and their, So I want to have the whole thing in one place.
So obviously that's a very big undertaking. And would take a lot of time and business planning to have that, where you just open the doors and ta-da, here I am, and you have all of those services. Mm-hmm. So, unless that's something you've done before, is it something you've done before or no?
No, okay. No, I never owned a business.
Okay. So I would say my recommendation would be start with Your health coaching, absolutely. And if you're an esthetician, then start with that. I would then continue, set maybe 2 or 3 hours a week aside that is focused on your business growth. What's the next step? And do that in phases, because it's a lot to be responsible for that many people, right? You'd have to bring in a lot of people to work for you to do that. So you're responsible for, there's a lot that goes into that, right? The income, the employer taxes, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, especially if you've never done that before. That could be overwhelming. I mean, and that is seriously some major serious overwhelm, because that's involving other people's livelihood, and, the government gets involved for taxes and all that. So my recommendation would be start with what you have, right? You know already what you have. So you have your health coaching, you're an esthetician, start with that. And then let that grow, like figure out what's the next phase. Talk to your clients when you're working with them and say, talk to them about your dream a little bit and see what part of that dream they latch onto. Like, oh yeah, we really need a place around here that does good facials, or, oh man, I'd love to have a place that, does really good body wraps. And so see what your audience is saying about what they need. And then from there, you can build that next phase of your business. And so you're getting more comfortable. You bring some people in, right? You help them get successful. You're continuing what you're doing. And then you go to the next phase. Like I'm personally, it's much more comfortable to go in phases, and you have a much higher likelihood of succeeding than if you just outlay all this money and hire, you're like in a rush to do it, right? Because you've committed to rent and whatever. And all of a sudden you're just like, here I am. And if you don't have that business experience backing you up, there is, I'm just being real. There's a high, percentage of failure. It's hard work. And so that's why I recommend just like little chunks at a time, and then you'll build into it, and you'll be awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Fatima, I think that's great advice, and start small. Do you know they have now places that you can just rent one room? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's a great way probably to start. You won't have all that crazy overhead, and once you fill up your schedule, then you can build. You can get another place where you can share, and
right.
I like starting small. I think that's wise.
Well, what happened is I used to work in I told you, in a big sophisticated spa in downtown Jacksonville. It's called Casablanca Spa, and I lost a lot of clients when I quit from there. And I just kept the place where I am now. I'm actually in a salon. So most of my clients that used to come in Casablanca were, they changing the location was a little hard for them to come and make it all the way here. And because it's another community, different from where, different setting, different people. So they kind of didn't want to come to the place where I am at now. So I'm thinking, if I open my own spa, they're willing, because they're calling me, have you opened your spa? Do you have your own place? So I think that, I don't know, sometimes it kind of makes me wonder, if I open my own spa, I think I'm going to have all my clients back and bring other clients as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Check that out, those share spaces. That probably would be great for you. You'd have all the control in a small little
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
So anybody else? I think Lori dropped off, and I think I saw she was here. So anybody else have any questions? I don't want to keep Karen all day.
Thank you so much. You're gonna send the email, Sherri, right? About the dates, the December 26th and okay.
I'll post it on our Facebook group,
Okay.
support group, so
Okay.
everyone can see it. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, it's Theresa. I do have a quick question.
Hey.
I have a pretty decent sized email list from my yoga classes.
Yep.
But I've noticed I have several different emails, and my email is on the email list, and it goes straight to spam. And I've noticed that with a nonprofit I also do a newsletter for, that it goes to spam. How can I prevent that? Is that normal or frequently happens?
So whatever you are sending out to your email list is often going to spam. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I noticed it because my email that is on the list, it goes directly to that spam on one of my emails.
Who's your email management provider?
MailChimp.
MailChimp. So here's the deal with, and I'm going to be honest, I personally haven't ever used MailChimp, but each email service provider has like a reputation, so to speak, within the emailing industry. And so what happens is they're ranked as far as what goes through all the way and what will go into spam. So you can do one of two things. So Aweber is a different email management system, and they do require a double opt-in, right? So they're like at the top of the list. Like most of their 99.9% of their emails end up in people's inboxes. So you can make a switch there, or you can, when someone signs up for your list, you can make sure that you tell them, right? Hopefully they'll get the email or wherever, because they're just signing up, they're looking for something, that you can tell them to add your email, right? Whoever that's coming from, whatever email you have set up with MailChimp, you can tell them to add that to their, different emails say different things, but basically like their VIP list, or, put this into your contact list. And then when their email management system is dividing it out, it will make sure that it gets to their inbox. So let me ask you one other question. Are your emails that this is going to spam, is it a Gmail account?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So Gmail made a change. I can't remember if it was this year or late last year, but they made some divisions in their, right? Okay. So you know about that. So
yes.
In your particular case, you haven't yet combined those. Like you can get rid of that promotions folder. You can get rid of that. So everything will come to your inbox. And each person would need to make that decision on their own. Now, chances are there are a lot of people on your list that probably have already made that change within Gmail so that they are actually getting it. Have you looked at your open rate? Like how many people, the percentage of people that are actually opening your emails?
I do. It does fluctuate.
Okay, give me a ballpark. Like what's it averaging?
20-30%.
Oh, that's awesome. That is an awesome, yeah, usually you could expect around 16-19%. So if you're getting 20 to 30% on average, then I would not worry in the least. Because here's the other thing. When people read your email on their cell phones, like on their smartphones, quite often it doesn't register as an open. So if your open rate is 30%, chances are you even have a higher percentage of people reading your email, because however that works, and I don't know what the technology with a smartphone is, but for whatever reason, quite often it doesn't register as an open. So your rates are phenomenal. I would not worry about that at all, and I would just fix your own personal Gmail settings.
Okay, and along with that, I need IT, so I don't have the IT skills to set up, sign up for my newsletter or a PayPal button. I need a service referral for that.
So, okay, tell me again, what is it that you want to accomplish?
Oh, I need some help putting a sign up for my newsletter on my Facebook page, and also a PayPal on my website and my Facebook page.
Okay, so have you looked at the tutorials within MailChimp?
No.
Okay, so the tutorials within MailChimp are good, but I'll tell you, if you go to YouTube and type in exactly what it is that you want, YouTube is the best resource you can imagine, from changing the brakes on your car to re-roofing your house to putting a PayPal button on your website. I mean, you can find everything there, and people show you. That is like my go-to resource. And I will say
great.
95% of the time, I find exactly what I'm looking for. People just do, I don't know why, they must have more time on their hands than they know what to do with, but people do tutorial videos all the time. And definitely both of those things you should be able to get, no problem.
Great. Thank you, Karen.
Oh, sure. No problem. If you can't, send Sherri an email and get to me somehow, and I will help you find a resource for that.
Yeah, I think
thank you.
A VA even that might be able to help you too, because I couldn't do it either.
And the time, it's like, how do you have the time to figure that out?
That's why you get the VA to do it, and you don't have to deal with it. But Karen's course that she's going to be sharing information about, and I will post those links so that you can get on those calls, and or just if you are committed already in your mind, sign up, because I'm telling you, it's a phenomenal course. It's 26 weeks. Yes, Karen, still?
Yes.
And everything. She is so hands-on, gives you videos with a screen share. You know how to do it, and it's in your computer. So every time, you don't have to go to YouTube. You can just watch her video, and it's like, okay, I want to do my lead page. I have to watch her video every single time because I can't remember how to do it, but that's me. So, but it's a really helpful resource that I use every time. So it is 4:20. I'm going to stop this recording, and I want to just say thank you so much before I stop it.
Thank you for having me.
Your time.
Yeah.